This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. A lack of inventory, chip shortages, and other supply chain issues put a dent in U.S. car sales in 2022. Automakers sold 13.9 million vehicles in the American market last year, which is a drop of 8%. General Motors, which sold more than 2.2 million vehicles, retook the sales crown from Toyota, which sold 2.1 million. SUVs and pickups continue to be popular with consumers, and they now account for more than 3/4 of sales. And EV sales are also soaring. More than 807,000 were sold last year, up 65% from a year ago. This year, analysts expect sales to increase by 1 million units because inventory is starting to improve. And while that's good news for automakers, it's still well short of the 17 million vehicles the industry was selling before the pandemic. Formula One has grown in popularity over the last several years, and it's starting to attract more luxury brands. Audi recently announced it's getting into Formula One by teaming up with the Sauber Group, and now Cadillac wants to join the series. The automaker has officially teamed up with Andretti Global and will submit a bid to race in F1. The team, called Andretti Cadillac, will be based in the U.S. with a support facility in the UK, and it plans to have at least one American driver. There's no current timetable for when the team could join the series, but if F1 approves the application, Andretti Cadillac says it will compete, quote, as soon as practical. As we said yesterday, China phasing out EV subsidies at the end of 2022 would likely impact EV sales at the beginning of this year. Could be a reason why Tesla is cutting prices in China and other Asian markets like Japan and South Korea. It's slashing the price of the Model 3 and Y by about 6 to 13.5% depending on the version. For example, the Model 3 rear-wheel drive is more than $5,000 less expensive in China. But this is still going to raise concern that demand is falling for Tesla's vehicles. Since September, Tesla has cut the price of its models from 13 to 24% in China.
We want to know what drives your testing. OTA, connected car, diagnostics, remote testing. Intrepid Control Systems is here to help you work from anywhere. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
Ram finally gave us a look at its electric truck, what it calls the Revolution BEV concept. The model is said to preview Ram's future styling, and like all other EV pickups, the lighting elements are big and bold. When the production version launches in 2024, the company says it will be the leader in range, towing, payload, and charge time. The reason it's going to have that range title is because we know the truck will be offered with a range extender, although Ram's not providing any details at this time. But it did say thanks to an 800-volt electrical architecture, it will be able to add up to 100 miles of range in 10 minutes using DC fast charging, and it will initially have an all-wheel drive setup from 2 electric drive modules. But it's capable of handling bigger drive modules, so there will likely be high-power versions in the future as well. The Ram brand also packed a ton of tech into this truck. It's got power everything, from the front to the charge door, tailgate, midgate, door handles, side steps, and even the rear step. There's digital side view mirrors, big display screens, an augmented reality HUD, and even a shadow mode where the truck will automatically follow the driver if they're walking outside of the vehicle. This truck is built on Stellantis' Stella Frame EV platform, which allowed designers to shift the cabin forward to increase overall cabin length. That then allowed them to design a pretty slick reconfigurable interior. A midgate, which opens the cabin to the bed area, has third-row jump seats mounted right to it and feature a removable lower section that can be used in the bed or for other uses like a sporting event. And if you'd like to learn more, we've got an interview with Ram CEO Mike Koval that we'll provide a link to. And sticking with Stellantis for the moment, Peugeot had its own concept to reveal called the Inception. While it's got a radical design, Peugeot says from 2025 onwards, it will inspire the brand's future products, all the way down to its smallest models. The concept is built on the Stella Large platform, features all-wheel drive from 2 electric motors that combine for 500 kilowatts or 680 horsepower and provide acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in under 3 seconds. Running off an 800-volt system, the Inception's 100 kilowatt-hour battery pack can add up to 150 kilometers or about 93 miles of range in 5 minutes, and it has an overall range of 800 kilometers or just under 500 miles. The interior is also quite wild, with a hoop display screen for the driver and a squared-off steering wheel that takes advantage of a steer-by-wire system. By the end of the decade, Peugeot hopes to be the leading electric brand in Europe. And those 2 vehicles were revealed at CES, and if you want to learn more about the new automotive technology and products at the show, be sure to check out our coverage on our website or YouTube channel.
At Schaeffler, we pioneer motion. Electrifying mobility, manufacturing smarter, reducing CO2 emissions, making energy production clean. Schaeffler pioneers motion to advance how the world moves.
One of Tesla's biggest advantages over its competition is its large supercharger network. And now Mercedes-Benz is following suit and will open its own charging network starting in North America. It's partnering with MN8 Energy and ChargePoint to begin building the network in the US and Canada, which will cost more than €1 billion. By 2027, Mercedes plans to have 400 charging hubs across North America with 2,500 individual chargers. Mercedes owners will be able to reserve a charging spot right from their vehicle, and the stations will also be open to other brands. The automaker will also build charging networks in Europe, China, and other key markets, and plans to have more than 10,000 chargers globally by the end of the decade. The German supplier ZF pulled the wraps off its next-gen autonomous shuttle. It's equipped with LiDAR, radar, cameras, and other sensors, as well as ZF's automated driving software to achieve Level 4 autonomy. The shuttle is electric and offers battery capacities between 50 and 100 kilowatt hours that provide up to 80 miles of range. It only has a maximum speed of 25 miles an hour, but future models will be capable of 50. ZF is teaming up with mobility services provider Beep to bring the shuttle to the North American market, but the companies did not reveal where or when it plans to deploy the shuttles. Solar EV company Lightyear is working on a new model called the Lightyear 2. Unlike the Lightyear Zero, which has a starting price of nearly $300,000, the 2 is aiming for a price under $40,000, but it still incorporates a lot of the same philosophy. It's extremely aerodynamic and uses solar panels on the roof to help extend the driving range, which Lightyear is claiming up to 500 miles or 800 kilometers. The Lightyear 2 will be sold in the US, the UK, and Europe, and the company is taking pre-orders right now. That's a wrap for today's show. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great weekend.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. And by Schaeffler, we pioneer motion. Wards is the industry leader for news, data, and analysis. That's why companies across the globe subscribe to our premium service, maybe even your own. Log in for subscriber access now. Check your company's intranet for details, and rely on wardsauto.com to keep you informed.